guys, this is Hell Hades. It's going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we're doing a video today on the best 15 champions epics to take on the Ice Golem. So Stu Gaming, Cold Brew and I did a challenge this week to do exactly that. Take on Ice Golem with just epics. I tried a whole bunch of champions. So I'm going to give you my top 15 based on my, based on my findings, but also some of the other guys in the competition in terms of what sort of scores they got. So let's go through. I'm going to try and kind of order these in some sort of sensible order so that you kind of look at people that are doing different jobs. So I'm going to start with a really important category, which is decrease defense champions. The champions that can go in and do an AoE, decrease defense, and basically expose the defense of the enemy, making you do a lot more damage quicker. So let's start with that. Actually, the champion that we all chose. So this is a champion which is relatively new to the game. We all ended up using this champion as our favourite of them all for this decreased defense role, mainly because he also puts decreased attack on, and he's got it on a really quick cooldown. So Stag Knight, one of the more recent introductions to the game. In the Bannerlords, the Bannerlords desperately needed some support with their epics. This is a really cool one. He's got an A1 which puts decreased speed on the enemy as well. That's really good for the actual Ice Golem fight. So dropping that speed means you get more turns before he starts going nuclear on you. But the main thing you want him in there for is this move here. Decreased defense and decreased attack, AoE move. If you book it up, it becomes 95% chance to land. If you then take the sniper mastery in the support tree, you'll push it up to 100%. 100% chance to AoE, decrease defense and attack on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Does need a lot of books, but really, really great champion. Fantastic base speed. He doesn't kick out like tons of damage. His damage is based on attack, and his attack is really low. So that's how they try to balance his champion. He doesn't do a ton of damage, but he's got good speed, good base defense, good base HP, and you can absolutely just push him out, decrease defense, decrease attack across the board. So great champion for this. They fixed the move as well so that he will do it on an AoE basis on the boss, which he wasn't doing before this more recent patch. So yeah, really good champion for Ice Golem. We then got, we've got ourselves a Dark Elf, Miscreated Monster. That's not who this is. Madame Cerise does the same move. She actually does it on the same, is it the same cooldown? No, one more cooldown. So this is one more turn than Stag Knight, which is why she's not quite as good. Stag Knight also hits when he does his, so Stag Knight's got a chance to get like a War Master proc or something like that when he does his move, whereas this is just a buff, remove buff, stroke debuff. So you're not going to do any damage when you do it. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. But Madame Cerise is really good at doing this as well. Decreased defense and attack, AoE. Brilliant for Wave 2. Wave 2 where you've got the guys at the front, I think it's Terror Beasts, putting out their Shriek and putting out their return damage. She will rip that buff off with this move at the same time as placing decreased defense. Brilliant for Ice Golem. When you get to the main boss fight, she does the same thing. She'll play this decreased defense, decreased attack, AoE on the 2 ads and the main boss. So fantastic champion. This is quite nice as well for that second wave. So you've got a second chance to be able to take that buff off of people and also put block debuffs on you. And then she's got this fear mechanic, which is good for the ads, but not really for the boss. But very good base stats. Really good Ice Golem champion for doing that role. Next one then, similar role again, or the same role again, is going to be the old faithful Tyrell. Tyrell, been in the game forever, still one of the best epics in the whole game. He will come in on his A2 on a 4-turn cooldown and do decreased defense on the whole enemy base. 100% chance to land if you book him out. If the targets are already under a decreased attack, he will sleep those enemies as well. So you could even synergize them. So in my team, I synergized my Tyrell with my Stag Knight to be able to try and put that sleep on as well. Really cool champ. Also got a turn meter reduction on his A3, so that's nice, and a decreased attack on his A1. So all of those things really cool to help you through the waves and to help you on the boss fight. So that's Tyrell number 3. Let's move on to Somebody else that does a bit of debuffing but also falls into like the damage category. And that's going to be a Night Revenant, the Skull Crown. So Skull Crown is in there not for decrease defense. She will do an AoE weaken. So AoE weaken, not as strong as decreased defense, but will still enable you to do more damage to the enemies. She also will do a ton of damage on the waves. So if you do not have someone like a Royal Guard or a Seer, then you'll be able to punch damage into the waves with your Skull Crown. She's got AoE on her A1, AoE's on her A2. She's also got a passive, which means she's unkillable. So when that big slam comes in from the Ice Golem, she can withstand a couple of those really big ones. So she'll come in and do a lot of work for you in terms of putting damage out. Also, that weaken's going to help you kill the mobs and the boss faster. So if we kind of stick in that damage category, who's going to be hitting hard for you? I've talked about a couple of them already. We might as well just run through them because they're everybody's must-get champions for epics. I actually don't think legendaries can run this content as fast as these two epics can help you do. So Seer, godly champ, an absolute wave destroyer. She will be in any top 15 dungeon team because she's so good. Mainly because of this spell here, Karma Burn. If you stack her up with a bunch of debuffs on your team, a bunch of buffs on your team, she rips all of those buffs off, and she is critting waves for 200k plus, one-shots the whole wave. You do need to pair her with someone that's got that AoE decreased defense. They pair really well together, but she will annihilate a wave. She also does the AoE weaken, which will help you do some more damage to the mobs, and she's got a chance for extra turns on her A1. Just means that she can get back to that Karma Burn as quickly as possible. She is a wave destroyer, and she also does crazy damage on the boss. She's doing like 500k hits on the boss easy. So Seer in there as the kind of top damage dealer. We're going to get to the next one. Again, you can probably guess it. Royal Guard, beast of a champion, one of the best for dungeon clears in the whole game. Again, better than just about any legendary for this role in the whole game. He's all about his A2 takedown. Attacks all enemies. Damage increases according to enemy max HP. This can go out there and be slamming for 600k a pop on the boss. You can clear waves in 1 or 2 hits. Really, really good champion. You need to build up his HP. You need to build up his crit and his crit damage. And then he will be slamming like crazy. Got a decreased defense on his A1 single target and a decreased speed on his A3. So all of his kit is insanely good. Get some accuracy into his build. Get him quite fast. Make sure he's got some health. And then just build tons of crit and crit damage. Really, really solid champion. So if we go into... I've got one more damage dealer. One more damage dealer. And then we're going to get into some support champs. So Sylar. Sylar was in Stu's team. Sylar's got a bunch of AoE damage, a bit like a Skull Crown, another Void champ here. But she's got AoE on her A1, AoE on her A2, and a decreased speed and AoE on her A3. All of that's just going to help you get through waves quickly. It's going to help you punch more damage into the boss. Sylar, really, really good champ for pretty much any content actually. But yeah, really good in Ice Golems as well. So we're going to go into the support category now. Support champions that are going to help your team do damage. I'm going to start with someone who's kind of like an off support, off damage champ. I was using her for some of my practice runs. So we got Senesha. Senesha doesn't get enough airtime in these sort of videos. She's a really hard-hitting champion, really cool champ as well. So I was getting my Senesha to do as much damage as my Skull Crown in the runs that I was doing. So she's got this A1 AoE attack. She'll do more damage if the enemies are already below half health. So if you started them off with a Royal Guard Slam and you come in with Senesha after that, she'll do a double hit. Really cool. She's got an A2 which provides a heal. So it attacks somebody and then it heals somebody on your team that's got the lowest HP. So again, if that Ice Golem is slamming you hard, she comes in as a support and starts to heal. But her kit is really maxed out because of this. Equalize. What this does, so it basically brings all of your HP levels equal and then heals the target allies by 10% of their max HP. So I normally find this actually just tops everyone's health up to full or not far off it. So really good ability. Book it up, it's on a 5-turn cooldown. She's also got very good base defense, very good base speed. So you can keep her alive pretty easy. Very good support champ that does damage. If we do another support champ, I mean, Miscreating Monster, he's up there probably in every single tier list. Top tier, goes out, throws stuns on the enemies with his A2. That stun process also creates a massive shield for your team. He's got ally protection, but also when he's got the ally protection out, anyone who's running in and hitting one of those team with the ally protection, those enemies will get a fear debuff on them. So really, really good utility. That comes from this passive here. And he's got an A1 that's got a chance to stun as well, and decrease defense if he lands the stun. So absolutely great support champion. Will keep your team alive for a long time in Ice Golem. Really, really useful when the Ice Golem's doing those big hits. So yeah, definitely someone, if you've got him, he's worth putting in your team. Let's look at the next one then. Again, one who is a relatively new champ, still a Night Revenant, Sepulchre Sentinel. Sepulchre, she can pretty much be played anywhere in the game. Fantastic kit. Force Affinity, which works really well for Ice Golem. She has got, no it doesn't, sorry, it works badly for Ice Golem, but it works well to direct the damage. She's a defensive based champion. She can take a hit, stack her defense, stack her HP, stack her speed. She can take a hit and let your damage dealers do their work. So really good to have that off affinity champion here. She's got decreased attack, attack one target on her A1. But this is what I like. Increased defense and block debuffs on all allies on her A2. Really cool. And then she's got this passive, which gives you a chance to take 0 damage for one of your champions for a big hit. This is really nice. It procs 50% of the time if you book her up. It's on a 1-turn cooldown. So every time that Ice Golem slams you hard, there's a 50% chance one of your team will take 0 damage. Very cool. She also brings an all battles defense aura, which is again really, really good. Let's then look at another one, another defensive or support strike champion, Steel Skull. This is probably quite surprising to some. Steel Skull is actually really good here. Brings that same ability that I just shown you, increased defense on your whole team. When that Ice Golem is slamming, if you can put your defense up 60%, you're going to take a ton less damage. He also brings a cleanse and a heal on his A2. So he's going to cleanse up one of those heal reduction that the ads put on you, or decreased defense the ads put on you, or even the freeze the boss can hit you with. All of that stuff, he can cleanse it off. And then he's got some poison in his A1 for good measure. He's mainly there in this run for a healer support champ. We've got another, I don't know if this is really a support champion, utility champ. I'm not sure where I'd put her, but she's really, really solid for Ice Golem. So Umbral Enchantress was one of the fusions a while back now. I'm not even sure which one it was. She's actually a fantastic epic. Really good. Great in the arena, but this is probably her best dungeon. I was using her in my team before I switched to a Seer team against Stu. I've got some clips actually. If you look on my Twitch, I've highlighted a clip of where I was doing a run in about 1 minute 10, I think, roughly. She is the person that gets me through wave 2. So on wave 2, to stop them doing the shriek, you can actually throw out block buffs. Block buffs, AoE, means that nobody's going to get that return damage cast on them. She also does a A1 provoke. On that first wave, she will slam people with the provoke, suck all the damage that way, and stop your damage dealers taking any hits. Very nice. She'll also do this on the ads on the Ice Golem. So again, really good utility for Ice Golem. We've got another one in this faction, Allure. Allure's actually really good here, guys. Keeping that boss's turn meter down, stopping him doing his slams is really effective. That's what you want her for. AoE, decreased defense as well, but it's a small version, but it's mainly this A1. Keep hitting that A1 onto the boss, keep his turn meter down, and you will find this dungeon way easier. Also the right affinity to dramatically improve her chances of staying alive. You do need to build some HP into her and some defense into her because she's quite weak. but she'll do a good job for you. Let's then look at who else have I got. 1, 2. I think I've got 2 more to do. We have got an undead. He pops up here and there, guys. Mostly a mage. He's the wrong affinity for this dungeon. Doesn't matter. He brings so much utility. You still want to use him. He's all about this A2, guys. Increased crit rate, increased defense, and block debuffs. If you pair him with Seer, it's the best combo in the game. But it's still useful even in a non-Seer team. Now, increased defense, block debuffs, it's going to help you on the boss fight. It's also going to help you on the wave content. And then he's got this cleanse and heal and turn me to fill on his A3 as well, which again is really good for the boss fight. So very good champion. He's got a decreased speed on his A1, so if you build a bit of accuracy into him, he can slow the boss down as well. Good base stats, very, very solid champ for this fight. We then got somebody you don't really see that often, but does have some utility that might be useful here. I don't actually have one built up, but I've seen some people run this guy, Fenax. So Fenax can do quite a decent amount of damage. He's attack based. He's mainly useful for this A1 block revive skill. So you can go in and kill one of the adds to the Ice Golem, stop them coming back up. He can hit pretty hard with this, guys. He also takes an extra hit if the target's got any debuff. So you've got a double hit chance to try and kill that ad and block the revive. Really useful here. He also brings an AoE block buffs, so that helps you get through wave 2. And block cooldown skills. This is a really good ability as well. This guy is actually pretty solid. And then he's got an attack 1 enemy, decreased defense and decreased speed. You throw both of those on the boss, it's going to help you kill the boss much easier. So I feel like he's actually completely built for Ice Golem. I think that's exactly where his kit is made for. He's quite hard to keep alive. You need defensive stats on him, and you need some support champions that are going to keep him going. But if you get those 2 things, he's actually going to be really useful for you here. I think that is my top 15, guys. I've done the list. Comment below, who have I missed? Who else do you use? But yeah, EPICS actually rule Ice Golem, probably better than Legendaries do. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you all soon.